A domain name strategy is a plan for selecting, using, and managing domain names for brands in order to enhance and protect the brand. And it includes a few main elements that can depend on the company's size, location, objectives, vision for its future. But I'm going to go through some of the main ones. The first one is the obvious one, selecting the main domain name for the business. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs are limited by the availability of domain names, and sometimes the best domain name is out of reach due to financial reasons. So the ideal domain name is what we call an exact brand match domain name, which is the domain name that exactly matches the brand name without any added words, with the .com extension, since that is the most intuitive and natural way for people to think of how can they reach the brand online. Variations of that are oftentimes we see companies launching on a name that has added word. For example, Tesla was initially for a long time actually on teslamotors.com, and you can see as the brand evolved and they were doing a lot more than motors, that became limiting, and eventually they acquired tesla.com, which is now open to pretty much anything they want to do with that brand. Another limitation that entrepreneurs may face is one imposed by different domain extensions that can either limit them geographically or to some particular area in an industry. But those are all parts of selecting the main domain name for the business. Another part of good domain strategy are defensive registrations. So that you can see with more established businesses, bigger brands, global brands, where they register different domain names to protect their brand. You would have like pretty much any brand, Saks.com registered by the brand, any serious brands, just to avoid it being misused. Same goes for different domain extensions that can either be registered defensively or to be used as their main representation in a given country. Another aspect of a good, solid domain strategy is protecting the domain names that a business already has. And it's actually crazy that there are even big brands who fail on that, where they have domains expiring or being taken by some disgruntled employee, or different horror stories like that. So that's something that needs to be taken seriously by any brand that is established and cares about its presence online. Another aspect that I feel not a lot of entrepreneurs exploit, and it's actually really good, is creative use of domain names. And you can see that with a lot of consumer brands where they would register different domain names for marketing campaigns, for specific product. Even things like Netflix has fast.com, for example, which is an internet speed test. And I feel that's absolutely genius, given that one of the main issues they had at the beginning when they launched was people complaining about the movie they're watching being slow, which is not a problem of Netflix, it's a problem of their internet provider. So that was a brilliant way to address that in a creative and fun way. So all of those elements are part of a good domain strategy. And as you can see on smartbranding.com in the section list, we do have a lot of examples of how top performing brands across industries and geographical areas are using domain names to their advantage. And we analyze their domain strategies, and hopefully you can learn from those too.